Hi guys, I'm finally back with the video that I was gonna post about 2 days ago, but something went wrong and for some reason I tried to upload it 3 times and the quality was so terrible you could not see anything. So, turns out after seeing my video, Nicole wiped SATYA Consulting. I revealed it on March 25th and she went and dissolved it on the 28th. So let's take a look at that. This is the LLC that she had, Satya Consulting, for if anyone hasn't seen my first video. There you go, Nichol KESSINGER, agent. This is what you could find. So yeah, that's another page of it, explaining pretty much the same thing, the registered agent, the type, and everything. Here you go. And there you go, just for a quick refresher. We can take a look at the meaning of Satya, which is the Sanskrit word for truth. It also refers to a virtue in Indian religions, referring to being truthful in one's thought, speech, and action. In yoga, Satya is one of the 5 yamas, the virtuous restraint from falsehood and distortion of reality in one's expressions and actions. At least you can tell that our girl has a sense of irony, and she picked the name of her LLC accordingly to her intentions, because she is the actually contrary of this, just like Luciferians and all the Illuminati like to do, reverse things. She did exactly the contrary of that. Anyways, so here's what happened. The other day, I get out of work and I check my phone and I see this notification for these comments by 808 State. You might be interested to know Satya Consulting LLC in Colorado was just dissolved yesterday, which was the 28th. Colorado's Secretary of State's website has the info. You are freaking kidding me. I posted my video on the 25th and on the 28th, that crap is dissolved? Man, she was quick. So she saw it. She saw the video, right? We can agree on that. Let's play a game and let's go in search of the truth, which is the entire reason why she picked that name to begin with, right? What's the truth? Why is the LLC gone after I revealed it online? No one else had talked about it. So why? Here we are on the Colorado Secretary of State Jenna Griswold, her site, and you can see it's true. She dissolved it. Voluntarily dissolved March 28th, Nichol KESSINGER, Satya Consulting LLC. Oh my god. I guess it was important. It bothered her enough that she had to go and request for it to be dissolved. Right? So here's the certificate of the document filed for the dissolution of Satya Consulting. You can pause it if you want to read the whole thing, but basically it explains that somebody made a request in person with papers on the 28th in Colorado, and that then another approval was sent electronically on the 30th, and it was all closed. The case was closed and the LLC was dissolved on the 30th for good. So I wonder who went for her, because she's not in Colorado, right? Technically. This is the address, the house where the LLC was registered at, and the last known address where she resided while still being in Colorado before leaving to move away out of state. Which reminded me of a comment I read from somebody that said, tell me, what kind of upper middle class 30-year-old woman sends an email like this? I have been looking for someone special to build a beautiful fat life with, just like what you've done with that wife of yours and those cute little girls. Oh, by the way, I can keep a secret if you can. There's that great park by my home. So I was thinking, the park next to the Andes house? I googled the address. Sure enough, huge park right by it. This is where she and Chris met, and this is where she did the first interview with the police, a CBI guy. So here I went and I did a timeline for us all, timeline to her. September 2017, Google's Shannon Watts. December 2017, Google's Shannon Watts, Chris Watts, 2528, or I think I got it wrong, 2825, sorry, Saratoga Trail. March 8th, 2018, opens up a LLC named Satya Consulting. Remember the odd choice of name for Satya. June 2018, starts flirting with Chris at work, sends email saying how she wants what you and that wife of yours have, marriage, nice house, beautiful kids, but that she believes in karma, and that she will leave this at work. Despite saying this, she starts hanging out with Chris. Then we have July 2018. Officially starts sleeping with Chris while Shannon is out of town. Well, allegedly. August 8th, 2018. Looks at wedding dresses on Google for over 2 hours. I'm not gonna mention the anal sex bit, right? August 13th, 2018, between 3 and 4:30 a.m. Murders. Chris kills his wife and daughters, disposed of them at the service site, the coordinates of which coincidentally contain the number 666. Out of all possible coordinates, right? I can show you that later on. August 13th, 2018, between 6 and 7 a.m. after talking to Chris, she makes a call to Jim for 1 minute. Mid-August 2018, right before Chris confesses, and Kay tells him to wipe every single text, call, photo, data he has of her in his phone, and to not contact her again until things blow over. She also mentions that she will be staying out of state with Jim. Late August 2018, convo with CBI at the park about the witness protection program and the name change. NK mentions she's heavily depressed and is trying to rebuild her life, but needs help from CBI, whom she is helping with all she got, despite feeling that CBI is not reciprocating. I'll show you text about that, where she's crying. She mentions she is starting a new job mid-September, out of state, but refuses to say where. Mid-September, she starts the job and changes her name. December 2018, Chris gets moved from Colorado prison to Wisconsin prison. Coincidentally, where the old and wealthy Gutowski family has its seat. Please, all the anti-conspiracy theorists that are over there, repeat after me. Breathe in, breathe out. Don't get mad at me, okay? Late February 2019. Chris interviews with the CBI and FBI. He reveals new details about the murders, or yet another version of events, depending on who you ask. That's true. I don't know, it's your own opinion about that. Early March 2019, there is a new June 2019 35C motion hearing posted for CHRISTERPHER Watts on the official court website. I will show you documents on that later. March 25th, 2019, Unveileress, me, haha, post video online revealing NK's LCC and the meaning of the LCC's name. March 28th, 3 days after. 3 days exactly after the LLC is revealed to the public, NK makes a request of dissolution for Satya Consulting. Documents are dropped off in person in Colorado. By whom? March 30th, 2019. More documents sent to the Colorado State Department, this time electronically. The dissolution of Satya Consulting is now fully done. The case is closed and certified by the Colorado State Department. So there you go. You got the whole Kessinger timeline right there. Right before the murders, she opens the LLC. Murders are finished. Chris is in jail. And now she's closing the LLC? So I figure since Nichol doesn't like it when I reveal stuff about her, that I would reveal this thing I found. She is a member of Phi Theta Kappa Honors Society, which is actually pretty impressive. See, you can see right there, November 2007 to present, which at the time this document was made 2013. 3631 South Andes Way, again, yet this address. That's her old phone number, the one previous, the other number that she had when she was with Chris, and that's her old email address. And yes, I already tried to see if this email address was still valid, but no, she deleted that Gmail account. Yeah, I tried. I know, a little creepy. But anyways, here you go. That's her research and all her credentials and whatever. I'm so smart and Miss Geologist and all that good stuff. I mean, to be honest with you, she's a very, very smart woman. You know, you gotta give credit where credit is due, and she seems to be pretty high in the IQ department. And I will give an educated guess and say that she also studied psychiatry or psychology, because she is really good at manipulating and gestures and all that good stuff. You can pause all this if you want to read it. I'm not sure if anyone is interested in that kind of crap, but I know it's gonna piss her off, so here you go. I don't think anyone knew that she was part of that society, so I don't know. I tried to Google it to see exactly what it was. Phi Theta Kappa Honor Society, and all I got is that it's a very prestigious thing when you're in college, and you cannot just join because you want to join. You have to have extreme good grades and most likely a name behind you. Also, I ran another asset search for her, and this one turned out that she has assets in Colorado worth over $1 million. That's a lot of money, right? So, also, people keep thinking that Nancy Lee Kessinger could be her new name, but no, that's her father's ex-wife. So now everybody know who Nancy is, because I heard so many conspiracy theories about that woman. That's the wife he had before NK's mom. I made her ancestral tree. Here you go. So Barbara Jean Riley basically remarried. That's her mother. She remarried a guy called Robert Arnold Kivet. So now her mother's name is Barbara J. Kivet. You can see, you can pause again and see all the connections. I went pretty far. That's on her mom's side right now. And then the other thing I'm going to show you will be her father's side. So all these names, I don't know if you remember, but during the police interrogation, she was talking about the name change and all that stuff, and the CBI guy answered to her, well, if it's connected in any way, shape, or form to your family, people will find you eventually. And she said, no, it's impossible, because first of all, I had everybody wipe everything, every trace that they had of me online, so I don't think it's possible that they could find me anyways. And he answered to her, well, you have really good friends and really good family. So there you go. That's the other side of the family when you dig, because the more you dig, every little green leaf you see, there is more connections. That's on Ancestry.com. So yeah, it took a long time to do this, because I had to cross-reference and see if it was the right persons and the right birth dates and all that stuff. So it took me quite a lot of time. But she has an extensive family. Not by blood, by alliance, by marriage. By blood, she only has her sister Stephanie. That's it. But she has 2 other siblings. Well, 3, maybe 3 if we count her dad's new girlfriend. Well, new girlfriend. She's not that much of a new girlfriend. She's just a girlfriend. Her name is Donna Delaney, and she has a son called Jesse Logan Davey. So I'm going to show you a list of all the names related to her. And I don't know if any of you have been digging, but if you're looking for names and whatnot, I would possibly think that those names would be worth looking into. Because I myself changed my name when I was in high school. I did it for completely different reasons than her. I did it because my father is a piece of shit, and I didn't want the same name anymore. And my mom was very nice in letting me change my name when I was a teenager. So I know the procedure on how to change name, and guess what? Guess what I did? I kept my first name, I just changed the writing and took my mother's name. My mother's maiden name. So, you know, I would assume that she would do something like this too. Just take maybe like a name from her great-grandmother or something like that. This is the rest of the asset search for her. As you can see, it says that she owns a house on the in Centennial, Colorado, on Powers Drive, right there. But she's not the only owner, apparently. There's also two people that own this house, and it's not her father. It's Sonia Lee McFarland and Blair J. McFarland, which is a little weird because I had never heard of their names until I saw this. So I'm gonna show you the house. It's a beautiful house. Here it is. Beautiful, absolutely beautiful house. That's for sure that this house is at least worth about close to $1 million, I would imagine. So there's the house on Andy's Way that I showed you earlier, which was the last address that she resided at. And this house, technically, she owns it. I would think probably it's her father's house and he let her have it. It's her family's house, basically. Here you go, the Redfin estimates. Like I said, above $500,000, 157 16 East Power Drive in Centennial. 4 beds, 2 baths, for almost 4,000 square feet. It's a huge house. Here it is, the two people that own it. And I'm starting to think that Lee might not be a middle name after all, because there are a lot of people in her family with the middle name Lee. And this woman, Sonia Lee McFarland, she also has an AKA that is Sonia K. Lee, and she uses Lee as a last name. So I'm starting to wonder if maybe Lee couldn't be the name of Dwayne's father or mother or grandma, whatever. So these people right here that just showed, Kathy Delaney and of course the Dwayne, that's the people that reside at the house in Centennial. And that's where Dwayne's company, Rogue Electric and Alpine Control, is registered. That's another house, yet another house that shows up with an asset search. And that's this one on 65th Avenue in Arvada. And that's the people that are registered there. And this is the house in question. Honestly, if I had to pick one, I pick the one in Centennial. I don't know, just saying, guys. Anyways, I was trying to remember, where do you think she went? Well, take a listen to this, guys.
Did you talk to Nikki afterwards? After all this happened?
13 and 14.
What was that conversation like?
It was the 13th. It was kind of like, it was more text and then maybe a phone call, and then she thought maybe Shan took off with the kids, because that's that. I was telling her I didn't know where they were and all that. And the 14th, she kind of thought something may have happened because they had to come back.
Why do you say that she might have thought that?
She kept asking me some weird questions. She kept asking questions that only I would know, but she was testing to see if it was actually me on the phone.
What do you mean?
She would ask what's my dog's name, or what do I what yoga studio do I go to, or something like that. It's I just answer and then another thing about I'm not sure if this is you. Just okay.
Is this through text or is this through calls? Oh, okay. So she wasn't hearing your voice. Okay.
Yeah. Is it possible she thought you'd been arrested when we were on the phone? Either Shanann had my phone or somebody else had my phone, or maybe she thought it was.
Well, hopefully Shanann would know all the answers to those questions, right?
No. This is Nikki asking me.
Yeah, but if she's asking you your name of your dog and what yoga studio and wouldn't.
Well, maybe she thought maybe I was with Shanann. Now she was just trying to find out who she was. But yeah, some of the conversation on the 14th got a little weird. I think that's when she met with CBI or something, or FBI. I'm not sure who she met with first.
So she talked to you after she met with?
No.
Oh, she
was she had told me this is the last time you'll probably hear from me. I'm going to stay at my friend Jim's place. All this is all going on. She said not to contact her until this is done. Still made to delete everything. I didn't delete everything. Okay. I'm not sure why I didn't delete everything, but probably helped you guys out a little bit. But
she told you to delete everything?
Delete all conversations.
Did she tell you why?
She just said delete it. I don't think you can ever delete a text message.
We're pretty good at getting deleted text messages.
when your dad came in, one of the first things you guys talked about, he said, kind of quietly, I cheated on her, I cheated on Shannon or something. Your dad didn't know until then?
So as you heard, first of all, she's extremely paranoid and she had Chris confirm his identity multiple times before she would even tell him anything, making him answer what's the name of his dog, what's the name of the yoga studio he goes to. And then she told him that don't call her anymore and that she's going over to her friend Jim and to live with him until things blow over and to delete everything that ever related to her. So I made a quick search on Jim and I found this address. This is an address that came back for all his family members as well. So I will make the guess that this is his the childhood home, the main Gutowski house, because it's owned by the Gutowski Trust. 1255 Ridgeway Road. And it's a very private house. Oh my God, you're gonna see. You cannot see anything. You can only see this if you stand right in front of that. The rest of the house is completely surrounded by heavily bushy areas and high trees. It's very secretive place. So it would be an ideal place to stay at. I'm not saying she's staying there, but I mean, all I'm saying is if I was in her shoes at the very beginning, I might have stayed there while I was getting sorted out and situated if I moved to Wisconsin, that is. Because as I will show you later on, she indeed told one of the CBI cops in a new text that we hadn't seen that she was starting a job out of state mid-September 2018. So I don't know, when you put that and the gym together, it's very possible that she moved to Wisconsin. What do you think? Is she hiding in all those trees, like peeking in and out, playing with us? I don't know, man. She's sure is covering her track and she is very sneaky. So there is a video recently that came out by Armchair Detective where he said that he too believes that she's in Wisconsin, and he said that he found the address but he's not gonna reveal it with us. So I'm not sure how he came to that conclusion. I'm not sure how he found it. If he was for the same conclusion than me, I just don't know how he found it. But somehow he Google Earthed the picture, the address, so excuse me. And when he played with Google Earth, he found a woman right next to it who was walking her husky dog. We all know that NK has a husky dog, a long-haired husky. And he does also put the pictures of that woman in his video. And I'm going to show them to you right now. Here is the first one. That's the one that made him zoom. Very slim, tall, slender woman with a very long, high ponytail, dark hair, sunglasses in the hair like she did when she was showing up at the interview for the cops, and accessorily a long-haired husky. I mean, I don't know if it looked like a long-haired husky to me or a normal husky, so I tried to compare it with an actual picture of an actual long-haired husky. I don't know, guys. What do you think? I don't know. I'm not sure that it's her personally, but it sure does look like her anyway. So, Either way, one thing is sure, she laughs at us, trying to look for her, as you can see for that. When the cop gave her an article about her at the very beginning, she was laughing about how desperate those people were and grasping at straws, and that they had nothing wrong. They had everything wrong anyways. They didn't even get the right addresses, and even the picture they used was wrong. Anyways, by the way, I gotta give credit right now to a woman that has a channel, a wonderful channel by the name of Conscious Truth. And yeah, I'm gonna show her some new text that surfaced that she showed her viewers. So you can see when she was talking about the name change. The cop says, "Do you know Michael Kelly?" It's a guy that was pretending to be her husband. "No, who is that?" Just wonder if you know the name. I've attempted, that's to say how she's manipulative. This is how she manipulated her way into the witness protection program. I've attempted to reach out to this therapist numerous times, the therapist the CBI gave her. And they either don't respond or they don't have room for clients. I need a new list. I've been trying so hard to help you guys, and I am struggling on my end because I feel like I am at a standstill with minimal, I can't see the rest right now, with minimal options. Please help. Clever, clever. Sorry, I am in mountains with limited service. Your phone, they're talking about her phone and how she can get a new SIM card. Your phone may take time to get 5. I don't know what he meant by that. Working on it, blah, blah, blah. Whatever works best for you, Kevin. She calls the cops by his first name. Great. Very, very good man manipulator, this NK. She knows her way with dudes. I got a new job too, out of state, starting mid-September, and I would like to discuss logistics. Okay, congrats on a new job. Are you willing to share details with me of where you are going? Tuesday at 1 p.m. at my office in Lakewood, if that works. No, not really over a text or a recording. Of course not. But if you guys will provide me with a private place, I will be more than willing to speak about the new things I am building in my life. Yes, 1 p.m. works. Okay, I respect that. Man, can you believe this crap? No, but can you seriously believe how she's manipulating her way like this? Manipulating the cops? I hope that he knew about it and that he was laughing. I really, really hope so, because wow, the new things she's building in her life, while everybody else is grieving and the whole world is shocked and in shambles. Anyways, she says, out of curiosity, why do I have to come into the address that broke the news last week? And the cop answers, that's your proof right there that she's in a witness protection program and that they helped her with the name change. I would like to introduce you to the lead detective and cover anything else you want to talk about. Also speak with you about witness protection and name change info. So for all the people that were telling me she's not in protection program, she is. Sounds good. I have a lot to discuss, but I typed it up and organized it, so hopefully it helps make it go faster for you guys. Sounds good. Let me know when you get here. Okay, I'll be in the lobby in a minute. Man, can't they learn how to type, these people? And then when the meeting is over, she says, thank you so much for helping me for everything. And your team's willingness to keep things quiet for me so I can heal. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that I'm taking this annoying voice when I read her messages, but it's just natural. It just pops up naturally. She pisses me off so much because I can see for shit. Women can see through that shit. I don't know about guys, but women, we can. And the cop says, you're welcome. And then they're talking about Charlotte. So, I made, here's for you guys, if you want to pause to see the procedure to change your name. As I mentioned, I've changed my name, so I'm very familiar with it. Although I did it in Europe, apparently it's the same procedure. You have to make the request and provide a whole bunch of stuff, and you have to publish, make a legal publication in a newspaper, the newspaper of your town, for 3 weeks in a row. One publication each week saying, I, Nichol KESSINGER, change my name to this name. And if no one comes forward to say that they don't want you to change your name, of course they have to have a valid reason, then you have to go ahead to change your name. And I was trying to see if there's exceptions to that. Well, there is. You can file for a motion for exemption of publication, but it's very, very rare when judges grant that. You have to seriously be in trouble, have danger to your life for them to accept. Because I was thinking about searching through the local newspapers where she last resided in Colorado, to see the legal section, to see the notice of publication. Because if the judge didn't grant that motion for exemption of publication, she has to have had published it. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get far because, you know, the newspapers don't keep it in the archives online like this. I would have to go in person, I suppose, in the town. So I just showed you right now some information, the last known addresses of Jim. And let's not forget that Jim is such a BFF that he had a key to her house in Arvada, in this way. So don't underestimate this guy. Also to the fact that he was working for Sunburst Consulting, and guess what? A lot of current employees of Anadarko were recruited from Sunburst Consulting. So Jim is more involved than you people think, you know. For people that were saying that Jim is just made up, I think Astral Pilot was talking about something like that, that Jim, it was on his real name, and it was, he took the name from the current owner of Sunburst, Jim Sidam, but no. I found, before they took it down, I found I tracked him down all the way back to 2013, because most of his friends have their pages private on Facebook, but I was still able to find some stuff. So, of course, this guy had a life before, and, you know, he posted like normal people, and you can find it. He's not just somebody that has a made-up identity with a fake name. No. Well, maybe his name is not Jim, it's James. Jim is his nickname, but still, it's a real guy, you know. Not to forget also that Jim, she had made a phone call to him on the day of the murders, the morning of the murders, at 6 a.m. Right after she talked to Chris, she made a 1-minute phone call to a number that was registered in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and it turned out to be his number. So do not forget that, people. You know, he's involved. He knows.
The Watts family told me they felt Shanann was dangerous, that they didn't even go to the couple's wedding. In fact, they believed that Chris knew he was going to get life in prison for killing his wife and disposing of the girl's body, so this is why he confessed to all 9 counts. Shanann's family said, quote, her memory and reputation deserves to be protected, and her family is fully prepared to do so.
The Watts family told you that there is a letter, and they say that supports their position.
Yeah, there is a letter that they say the defense has. He said in it, he wrote, if anything happens to me, look at my wife. And apparently Chris's sister put that away somewhere, and it supports the case about their contention that Shanann was unstable.
But no more details.
No more details than that. There was a conversation about whether the defense destroyed it. I have no evidence about that, but they say the letter's out there and supports their contention.
Mystery letter that's out there. Where is it then? We've not seen it. How did this appear after Watts said that his wife had killed the children?
I've got to get these thoughts out of my head. What I think could have.
So, thanks to Armchair Detective for that last video. Here's that letter in question that allegedly Chris wrote at his parents' house on August 8th, right before going back to the house. I don't know. I tried. To me, I'm not sure, man. I feel like it's a forgery. I think it's a trick up his sleeve, because you're gonna see something is coming up in June. So I took some old letters of his and I tried to compare the writing. The very, 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 very first sentence, to whom it may concern, okay, I could say this looked totally like his writing. But the rest, man, I don't know. I'm not so sure. Especially the signature. When you look at the signature, the CH in Chris in the letter that was allegedly written, and then the CH in all the cards that he signed for NK, to me, it doesn't match. But here you go. There's another video. I forgot the name of the guy that said that it's the place, his mom's house, is where he wrote the letter, and he asked his parents not to open it unless something happened to him. So I don't know, man. I don't know what you guys make out of this. You know, I honestly think it's a forgery and that it's not true, but apparently it's true. There's a letter, so I just think it's a forgery. Then, supposedly the day after this letter was written, Shanann was texting to her friend about the change in Chris. That's true. There are texts of Shanann saying that all of a sudden Chris is acting completely out of left field, and she doesn't know what's going on. It's like all of a sudden something changed. Well, we know why. Because somebody was manipulating her way in his head. Every single time I saw that picture of her, I think about, I'm sorry, but I do think about some kind of wicked witch that throws spells right and left. So yeah, here's the thing I was telling you that's coming up in June. Thanks to Twisted True Crime channel. She's the only one that's talked about this, as far as I know. There is a hearing on the official court website that is scheduled for June 14th for what's CHRISTERPHER, with a typo. It's a Rule 35C hearing. You may be wondering what's a Rule 35C hearing, because I did not know what that was either. So I went on my trusty friend Google and I asked what was a Rule 35C hearing. And it turns out in Colorado, Rule 35C of the Colorado Rules of Criminal Procedure provides defendants, Chris, with an opportunity to challenge their conviction and sentence. A motion brought pursuant to Rule 35C is often referred to as 35C motion. Do you think maybe that new letter that popped up could be what he's trying to do? To have his sentence changed? So then this is what the other stuff I got. Getting post-conviction relief in Colorado Rule of Criminal Procedure 35C. In an attempt to vacate their verdicts or sentences, also called 35C motion, petitions for post-conviction relief spell out to the court all the ways that the defendant was denied his constitutional rights to a fair trial and sentence. After a conviction, the defendant has a limited time to file post-conviction relief in Colorado. For classes like Chris, it's anytime. If the court grants a defendant 35C motion, the judgment may be set aside and or the sentence may be lessened or lifted altogether. Below are Colorado post-conviction relief attorneys discuss the application process and timeframes for filing a 35C motion in Colorado. So I don't know, guys, what do you think? Do you think he's gonna try to appeal his sentence with using that letter and using that interview that he did in February? And then that's the menu of all the explanations, all the fact about a 35C motion. What is post-conviction relief in Colorado? What are the grounds for post-conviction relief, most importantly? And how will the judge decide my petition for post-conviction relief? When will the judge decide my petition for post-conviction relief? And what other form? Whatever. We don't care about that last one. So first one, what is post-conviction relief in Colorado? It is when a defendant who has been convicted of a Colorado crime asks the court to vacate judgment or sentence. Also called 35C motions, post-conviction relief gives defendant an opportunity to argue why. And I'm gonna show you the rest of the page in a second. Sorry, by the way, I'm using this new thing, Power Director, and I'm not used to it. So between that and my accents, I sympathize for you guys. Okay, so 35C, seek review from the same court that handled the case. For instance, a trial in Denver criminal court can be appealed to the Colorado Court of Appeal and eventually to the Colorado Supreme Court. So right there, it tells you that it can go all the way to the Supreme Court. So it gives defendants an opportunity to argue why his verdict or sentence was invalid. And the judge has sole discretion to grant it or not. So what's the ground? 7 common grounds for post-conviction relief under 35C include: the defendant was illegally convicted or sentenced. The law under which the defendant was convicted is illegal. The defendant's conduct was illegal, or the court did not have authority or jurisdiction over the case. Then we're going to see the rest of the rules, the grounds, sorry. There is new evidence of material facts that could not have been reasonably discovered prior to the conviction, aka that letter and aka that interview that he did in February. 6. The sentence has already been fully served, or there has been an unlawful revocation of parole, probation, and or conditional release, and or other grounds called collateral attacks, such as ineffective assistance of counsel or prosecutorial misconduct. How will the judge decide my petition for post-conviction relief? There is no way to be sure how a judge will rule on a 35C motion. The judge in the case has the discretion to grant a 35C petition if she believes doing so serves the interests of justice. Some of the factors the judge may consider include whether the motion is timely, whether the motion states adequate factual or legal grounds for relief, and whether the motion states factual grounds that, even if true, entitle the party to relief, and whether the files and records of the case show the satisfaction of the court that the defendant's factual allegations are true. So, I don't know, man. If the court finds that the defendant is entitled to post-conviction relief, the judge has several options. Depending on the case, he may vacate the judgment or grant a new trial, which most likely will happen. Or the judge could impose a new sentence or make a final decision within 63 days of the hearing. So to me right now, when you read all this, the only thing that would match would be the new evidence that could have not been known at the time. And like you said, it says true, which even if true, yeah, the judge has to see if it's factual or something like that. That would, out of all the reasons, that's the only one that would make sense, right? I don't know what your opinion is on that. 8. If my post-conviction petition is denied, can I file another one? Yes, but the court will deny it unless it contains new information that was unknowable when the previous 35C motion was filed. So basically, if you keep getting denied, you can pop up with new stuff and get another one again. All that's to go back to the meaning of Satya. The virtuous restraint from falsehood and distortion of reality in one's expressions and actions. This whole case should be called Satya. Literally. It's like either Nichol is psychic, or either she has a really good sense of humor, or, you know, please, again, anti-conspiracy theorists, don't shoot me, don't throw stones at me. I'm just presenting you guys with what I find. Sometimes I present you with my opinion, and I let you guys decide what you want, you know. By the way, because I know Miss Nichol KESSINGER my video right now, I want to state that all of this stuff that I showed you was acquired legally through public searches, and that's all my opinions, all my statements are allegedly. I am not saying that anything is set in stone and that anything is fact. Besides, when I read like factual documents like the court hearing and definitions, and I just read documents like that. But anything else, like my opinion and stuff like that, is all allegedly. Right? I don't know, guys. What do you think? Recently, I saw that Twisted True Crime came out with the fact that she thought that she found Nichole's new name, and that it was Nichol Rothe, R-O-T-H-E. And she then showed photographs of that woman, but I don't think it looks like her. I didn't want to show it here because you guys should go watch her video and give her the view. That's only right. Thank you to everybody for watching me. I apologize again for my accent, and I'll see you next time. Alright, guys. I will see you next time, and I just wanted to say a quick thank you to, pretty much a long thank you to all of you, and I also wanted to give a shout out to some of you. I really appreciate all of you. Thank you deeply from the bottom of my heart. It warms me to read your comments. Bye, guys. Quick postscriptum, quick little PS. I will go back to recording the way I did my first video, first and last time that I tried Power Director, because I had to record the track, an audio track per image, and that took so long, and I feel like I lost my train of thoughts multiple times. So I'll just go back to recording my screen and filming myself going through my gallery, my photo gallery. I don't know, unless you really like this one better, just let me know what you think. Again, thank you so much, and a big thank you to everybody. I appreciate you.